Guys, don't forget to buy David White's book. It's £20 for a personalised signed copy and free delivery. All the details are down below. Hi guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. We were requested to and asked if we would be doing a lineup video. Now last week we put it into the Huddersfield match preview. It was a big one yesterday. I hope you're enjoying it. If you've not seen it already, check it out. With Harry from Wolves Fan TV, where we asked each other questions. So what I decided this morning was what I'd do is I'll just do a very quick video with the lineups similar to what we've done in previous matches. So which formation is he going to choose? That's like I keep saying every week. Who knows with Pep Guardiola? I mean, last week we saw it with the fact of the way he dropped Kyle Walker and he played Bernardo Silva and David Silva on the right-hand side. So it's anybody's guess. But let's just have a look at just a few potential lineups that he could potentially put out tomorrow. Who knows? But anyway, this is the first one. If we take a look at this particular graphic. Okay, on here what you can see is this time we're playing more of a, let's stick with a 3 at the back and say it's more of a 3-4, almost like a 3-2 or a 3-3, 2-2, 2-1, 1-1. I mean it's very difficult to put a specific formation, because as we know now as City fans over the last year or so, it's so fluid. But let's just give some examples. So Ederson in net for obvious reasons. This time, if we do play sort of 3 at the back, rather than sort of 4, we've got Stones there on the right, Company in the middle, and Laporte on the left. Kyle Walker and Benjamin Mendy are both this time are playing out wide. They're going to be the ones that are going to be overlapping, providing a lot of the width in this formation. We've got Fernandinho sitting where he normally does, and then just ahead of him we've got David Silva and Bernardo Silva playing just slightly wider. This time we've just, for the sake of being impartial, we've added Riyad Mahrez into the team and actually dropped Raheem Sterling and Gabriel Jesus. Because Mahrez could play in that potential role, he'll also offer us potential to go wide right, wide left, or play in that sort of 10 role, with Silva, one of David Silva or Bernardo supporting Mahrez, the width coming from Mendy and Walker. So that's one potential lineup, just trying to mix things around. I think we'll see a lot of that this season. I think Pep is not going to stick to a rigid first 11 or 12. I think he's going to now give people rest still after the World Cup. We've got the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, who is out injured. So I think he'll start introducing more players, knowing that obviously we're in 4 cup competitions. We've got the draw coming up next week for the Champions League. So anyway, let's have a look at a potential different lineup. This time what we've got here is more of a, what we call a traditional, let's say a 4-1-3-1-1. Say traditional. Nothing's traditional with Pep Guardiola. But this time Ederson's in goal as normal. This time, just for argument's sake, we brought in Otamendi. We've not seen him sort of start yet, so we'll pair him up with Stones. Good in the air, be dangerous from set pieces. So Stones and Otamendi this time paired up in a traditional back 4 with Walker and Mendy. Fernandinho again sort of holding. This time for a little bit, because we're away, we're at Wolves, a little bit more defensive minded in that midfield, packing the midfield, and you'll see why with this formation when I show you the Wolves potential lineup. So Gundogan playing just ahead of him. This time, just either side of Gundogan, we've got Bernardo and David Silva. This time I've kept Gabriel Jesus, again, because he runs and runs and runs. He can play left, right, central, as a 10. Yeah, I mean, for closing down and applying pressure, those two worked really well last week for Huddersfield, so Pep could quite easily stick to something like that and play and play Gabby and Sergio again. I'd be very surprised if Sergio is dropped, considering he scored a hat-trick last week. He's not a player that should be dropped when he's in hit real sort of form. Now, so that's another potential line. If we look at one more then before we look at who I think potentially he might play tomorrow. So if we look at this particular graphic, on this one, we've almost gone like a 4 at the back with Fernandinho sitting. This time I've just played Stones and Company. It could be Stones and Laporte. It could be Company and Otamendi. It could be Company and Laporte. I mean, who knows? But this time we've got traditionally Walker and Mendy with Fernandinho sitting. This time, same formation. I'd be surprised if David Silva and Bernardo Silva are dropped or rested and put on the bench. So we've got David Silva and Bernardo playing ahead of Fernandinho. This time, all I've done is provide serious width. And you'll see why I've done that when you look at Wolves' potential lineup. So this time I've included the two flying wingers, and that is Raheem Sterling. And again, Sterling could easily switch to the left. Sane could even switch to the right, with Aguero as the main focal point up front. And this time Gabby is dropped to the bench, or rested onto the bench. So there's another potential option that we have. So, I mean, as I said last week when I did the preview and the lineups, I mean, it's so fluid. I mean, we've got no idea week in, week out as to who he's going to pick this season. So these are just potential options. But if we take a quick look at the Wolves lineup, and I've chosen the Wolves lineup that was against Leicester because speaking to Harry, he said that they played really, really well, and 2-0 was a travesty, really, considering that Leicester went down to 10 men. They just couldn't score. So if we use this particular graphic, now on this particular graphic here, what we've got is I've used like I said with the Wolves lineup, I've used the Leicester game. So Patricio in net, they do tend to play a 3-4-2-1 formation. Now there could be different players coming in because Traore came off the bench last week, so he could potentially start this time around, giving them some pace and width up front. But if we look at that particular lineup, well, they've got Bolly, Cody and Bennett in the back three, and then across the middle they've got Castro, Ruben Neves, João Moutinho and Doherty. And then just playing ahead of them, they've got they had Jota, but Traore came on as a sub, Costa, and then up front Jimenez. Now, if you look at that there and look at their potential formation, if they stick to that, then clearly they're packing that midfield area with Traore, Jota, and Costa, whoever plays, just slightly ahead, who can chase down, can drop back, and assist with the midfielders. So It is a formation that worked really well for them last year. Now, how do we counter that? Well, obviously, midfield is going to be an important part. Now, those spaces between that back three and Moutinho, Neves, Castro and Doherty is going to be really important. So it will take the craft of somebody like David Silva, Bernardo Silva drifting into them roles, or even the likes of potentially a Mahrez drifting across, dragging those three centre-backs and occupying them. That allows Aguero then to find those gaps between the three, because you know what he's like, he loves playing in between two centre-backs or three. He looks for that space in between, which then means that with Sterling, let's say he plays Sterling like he did in the first game wide left, they are going to be seriously concerned with Sterling's pace, certainly if he plays on the left-hand side, because knowing now he can cut in, just like he did against Arsenal. So what that's going to do is force Doherty, if he plays on that particular side, it's going to force Doherty to come in to almost like a 4, which then creates that little bit more space on one side, or whether that's Castro coming back to playing, let's say, more like a left-back role. That again provides behind the back of Neves and Moutinho the likes of Mahrez, Bernardo or David Silva to find that space, which then you've got Aguero holding onto the shoulder, and you know with the pinpoint passes of Bernardo and Silva, they're going to look for, Sergio's going to look for those runs beyond those, time those runs beyond those centre-backs or those three. So I mean, personally, that's just who I think potentially he might line up with tomorrow. Really go for width, but width with players that can actually come inside. Now, we know Sane is predominantly left-footed, as is Sterling, as is Mahrez, really. But Sane less so of cutting in onto his right foot if he plays on the left. He's more to come inside and play inside to maybe the likes of David Silva or Bernardo Silva or Aguero. Where Sterling can mix it up. He can offer both. If he comes inside, he's got his right foot to shoot. Or he can go wide, drag players across, play a simple ball back for Benjamin Mendy to cross in. So we might not necessarily see, if Pep does go with wide players, we might not see Benjamin Mendy being the sole outlet on that left-hand side this time. What we might see is Sterling dragging players out wide, coming inside to either have the option of playing to David Silva or Bernardo Silva or Sergio Aguero, short ball, with then the option of Mendy bombing forward beyond Sterling. Gives us another option then to play out wide. So I think it's going to be really fluid. It's going to be really interesting, especially playing against Nuno Santos' team, because they like to keep ball possession, but they also like to drop a little bit deeper and try and hit teams on the counter attack. And they're very quick at doing it. They play the ball forward very quickly. We saw that last year in the Carabao Cup. The penalty shootout that we won. Now, yeah, it's anybody's guess who we're going to play. It's going to be a great game. I think, actually, it could be a high-scoring game, and we're going to have to be really on our mettle. But one thing I do think we are good at, and I think we can exploit in this particular Wolves team, is our set pieces. But Bernardo Silva, if he takes corners, has got to provide better service, because last week he took 7 or 8 corners and he hit the first man nearly every single time. If we can get the corners right, and I believe if Mahrez is playing, he can provide the corners, then I really think we can hurt them from corners or set pieces. So don't be surprised tomorrow if we score a couple of goals from corners or set pieces. So anyway, guys, give us your thoughts. What do you think the lineup's going to be? So here we go. Don't forget, tomorrow we're going to be at the ground, so go and see us. And outside the ground, pre-match, we'll be there early, filming interviews with fans from Man City or Wolves as well. We'll give you a half-time update as well as to what's going on, and then post-match we'll also be interviewing the fans after. Don't forget, with the channel, the first Man City, the only Man City fan channel that is getting you content immediately as it happens out there. So anyway, guys, don't forget to subscribe. This is Andy from Man City Fan TV, and we'll see you soon.